Am I pioneering an entirely new way of doing a podcast? I don't know, but I've had these conversations with people in my circle, and the reason it comes up is because we haven't found anybody else that's doing podcasting like this. The premise of my podcast is storytelling. I am reliving things that have happened in my life. It's what I've been doing my whole life. When things happen, I like to tell stories. I like to tell stories about the things in my life and the things that I've seen and done. And so I decided to make a podcast out of it and tell stories and share these stories with the world. But I haven't found anybody else out there that's doing it like this. So either I'm pioneering this entirely new way of podcasting and it's going to take off. And the word that's been given to me is that May is my time. May is the time that it's really going to take off. And so I don't know what that's all about, but I am really anxious to see what's going to happen in May. So either I'm pioneering this thing and these other people are going to be coming out of other storytellers are coming out of the woodwork and they're going to be launching their podcast and saying, "Yes, we're going to tell stories too," which is going to be great because it's going to kick off a whole new wave of content creation. Um or I'm doing something that's so so isolated that it doesn't have a family to belong with, that the algorithms can't find a place to put me. I don't know which it is, but I'm excited. I'm a storyteller. It's what I am. It's who I am. I have lived an exciting, fun, full life, and I like sharing stories about the things that I've seen and the things that I've done, and I've been around the world. And so I'm hoping that there are other people out there that are also doing it or that they're on their way to doing it. The other day I did come across this guy who started telling a story and and it started out really good. So I got pretty excited. I became engaged. I wanted to see what's going to happen with this story. Now let me say this as a premise of let me say this. I'm not a fan of agendas, of secret agendas. When somebody is trying to utilize a story to draw you into something else, maybe a sales or whatever the thing. Also, what's kind of skewing my thought process right now is I'm kind of looking for storytellers. I'm looking for people doing something similar to what I'm doing. And the way this guy was doing it, he was sitting in front of a camera and he was talking and telling a story. And so I I think that there was a little bias there, the little because of what I'm looking for. So so anyway, I got engaged in this guy's story. He basically starts telling a story about how he's driving his truck and the truck starts giving him problems. And he gets pulled over at the edge of a field and the truck starts smoking. I'm like, yeah. I mean, this guy's got me in. I'm like, it's smoking. Your truck is smoking. This is a problem. He said it got so bad he had to get out of his truck. And I'm like, okay, then what? He said the smoke started getting bigger and bigger, and then the truck catches on fire. The fire got so big, it set the farmer's field on fire. So now the truck's fully involved, the field's fully involved. He said he burnt down the farmer's field and he burnt down his truck completely. And I'm like, oh my word, that's a crazy story. So then he goes on to say, once once everything's settled, he was able to get into his truck, maybe to see if anything survived the fire. He said he couldn't imagine that anything would have. But on the dash, and this is where his agenda started to come out. On the dash, completely unscathed by the fire. The only thing untouched by the fire was a Bible. And I was like, "Aw." I mean, yeah, I certainly, people wanna share their faith. I get that, but I just wasn't in the frame of mind for that to happen. I wanted the purity of just a good story, and I thought he did a really good job of it. And so the Bible was unscathed. Okay, that's interesting, but he then went on to say, he started sharing his faith, and he was like, "Hey, if your life is completely burning down, then somehow God's gonna step in and whatever and save the core part of you or something." I forget how he tied it all together, but you can see where he was going with it. He used the story to promote his faith, which okay, but I have questions. It popped all kinds of questions in my head. And I'm like, I shouldn't be questioning things, but okay, if God saved the Bible through the fire, if God saved the Bible, I just want to put my request in right now. If my truck catches on fire and God is going to intervene and save something, save my truck. I want the truck because the Bible is easier to replace than the truck. So that's what I would want. I think maybe I'd be a little upset if I felt like God protected the Bible and let the truck burn. I'm sure the farmer would have something to say too. If God got involved in this whole thing, save the field. Save the field. We can get another Bible. So I'm making jokes. I am. I'm not trying to trash his faith or anything like that. I'm just saying it promoted a lot of weird thoughts in my head. And maybe just because I was kind of like really hopeful that that was a good story, and it was just going to be that, the purity of a good story. I don't know. I just haven't found anybody out there that is doing this exactly like this. If you know somebody out there telling stories, then share that with me. Put that in the comments for me. Because I don't even feel like I'm really competing with anybody out there. I feel like the algorithms are having trouble placing me because I don't belong to a family of content creators like this. I'm kind of isolated. I'm doing something that I don't think anybody else is doing and just sharing stories like this. And so I think it's having trouble placing me. And I'm hopeful that other people are going to get on and start to tell stories. I'm hopeful that that is going to be a new thing. And if the word I've been given is true, then May 2026, there's going to be a breakthrough in the type of podcasting that's going on out there. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends about this. And if you know anybody else telling stories out there, drop that in the comment for me.